winterizing your lawn? Is it really needed? Does it make sense? What do I do? Yeah, we're going to go over a few things. Hold on one sec. Hey guys, today we're going to talk about winterizing your lawn. And it's a term that I really don't like to use because lawns will really take care of themselves when it comes to winterizing. But there are a couple things that you can do. And so I'm going to go over a few things today and show you some stuff we're doing. Just a mix of stuff, but I do want to address the issue of winterizing real quick. Number one, there is definitely a difference between cool season lawns and warm season lawns when it comes to winterizing. Remember, when we start to get into these cooler temperatures, now I will tell you that we really didn't have kind of that intermediate fall. We went from 90s all the way down to 70s like that in one night. So we really didn't have a transition period, which you kind of really need. But cool season lawns act a little bit differently in the fall. Cool season lawns actually love the fall, and that's when they really start to get into growth. So with a cool season lawn, you really do want to give it a little bit of nitrogen. You want to give it a broad spectrum fertilizer. When it comes to something like Bermuda grass and warm seasons, we start to actually lose our energy. In other words, we don't get a lot of growth, and a lot of that, a lot of the activity starts to go into storage. So there's two different approaches on it. Number one, if you got a cool season lawn, personally what I would do is I'd put down just some cheap 10-10-10 and then spray it with super juice. Do that all during the fall and you'll be great. It's pretty simple, nothing else to do. When it comes to warm season, when it comes to Bermuda and warm season turfs, the one mistake a lot of people make is they put down a whole bunch of nitrogen. You want to stay away, even on a cool season, you want to stay away from stuff like 30-00. You want to supply a little bit of nitrogen, but you also want not only the macronutrients, the nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium, but you also want micronutrients. So you want a broad spectrum, and that's why we like the super juice on both cool season and on the warm season. So today I'm going to show you, obviously, Bermuda, since I have Bermuda lawn, and what I like to do is, it's a simple fix, it's pretty cheap. I'll show you my secret ingredient here in a minute. But just a bag of 10-10-10, put out some cheap 10-10-10, go to your local hardware store, Lowe's or Home Depot, buy some 10-10-10 and put out a light coat of 10-10-10 and then spray it with super juice. The reason why we are still spraying with super juice is really not to encourage growth, because super juice really isn't that high in nitrogen. You're not putting out 30 pounds of nitrogen. You're just putting out a very small amount, but you're putting out that broad spectrum of nutrients. You've got nitrogen, potassium, you've got phosphorus, you've got all the micronutrients are in there. You've got fulvic acid, you've got humic acid. You're putting that all down. So if your lawn wants it, it's there and available for it. But the one thing we do not want to do is we do not want to put lots of nitrogen on a lawn. We just want a nice broad spectrum, offering all those nutrients to the plant and let it make the decision. So I just put up a video about NPK, and I go over that, and we built an entire page so you can understand it. But today, the temperatures are really starting to cool down fast. We're testing our new super juice for 2019, which is really the same super juice we have now, but it's going to come all pre-formulated. If we can get this done, we've gone to the turf industry and turf professionals and said, we want you to make this product for us. And hopefully within the next couple months, we'll be launching that new version of the super juice that you can actually buy, and it's all ready for you. So let me just go up here and show you what I picked up today at I think I went to Lowe's this morning. Let me show you what I picked up. All right, you ready? Oh. Ta-da! So there we go. Good old cheap $10-12 a bag 10-10-10. And that's what I want to be putting out on all the lawns, just a light coat of this. And I'm going to show you a little trick about putting out fertilizers in your spreader settings. All right, so let me show you a little trick about spreader settings. I have a lot of people that always say, hey Doc, what number? You said light coat, but what number do you want to put the spreader on? I'm going to show you a little trick. So here's some 10-10-10. Do you see that armyworm moth? And I'll tell you what, they are all in here. Whatever. So when you're looking at this fertilizer right here, there are several different sizes. There's different particles. Of course, there's NPK in here, but there's different size particles. And what I want to do is I want to visually inspect this And what I want to do is I want to pick out the largest particles that I can find. Okay, so those are the largest particles that I can find. So now I'm going to go over to my spreader. Play with my door settings. So what I want to do is I want to match my largest particle size to my door settings. So I'm going to come down. My guess is it's going to be about a 4 or more. 4 looks about right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these in here and make sure that those can go through easily. So when I go into my whatever I'm using, whether it's a fertilizer or a humic product or whatever, I'm going to go into this bag and I'm going to find the largest particle I have, and I'm going to put it inside my hopper, and I'm going to make sure that when I squeeze that handle, the largest particle will go here. Why do I do that? I do that very simply because if those large particles can't go through the hopper, they're going to sit there on the bottom and sort of block that up. They're going to create a layer where stuff gets trapped. So you always want to make sure that your door size equals the largest size particle that you have. Hey guys, today I am using the Scots Elite spreader, and I've got a link on the website. It's the same price whether you buy it at a Home Depot or Lowe's or order through Amazon. I personally like to order through Amazon so you can put it together yourself. This one I actually bought from a big box center. It was put together not well, and it was full of crap because they set them up on the shelves outside. So order it through Amazon and it comes in a box brand new. You put it together yourself. That's my recommendation. But it is the Elite spreader. Again, if you're going to spend 30 or 40 bucks on one of the cheap little spreaders, I think it's worth the money. It's not a great quality. All these plastic ones are cheap. But for 99 bucks, it has a few features and it can handle the full load. So I think it's worth the extra, 30, 40, 50 bucks to spend to get the Elite. It does have a double rotor system on it. Some people say that when they load this up heavy that one of the rotors stops moving. I have not personally had that problem. It might be something with your gears drive system down here. But I do like the edge guard on this one. So it has an edge guard handle right here, and all you do is you pull it out and it stops. I mainly use that around the pool and sidewalks. So I do like that. It does have the cruise control setting, so you can bring this up and you can lock that. If you want to lock it, it has a little iPhone holder so that you can update your little Twitter feed while you're spreading, I guess. But that's about it. Lots of wide spectrum, and it has the 4 slots in it for feeding, so I do like it. And just for the heck of it, I keep mentioning in the background about my professional grade spreader. So I figured I've still got I've got 3 more lawns to do, so I figured I'd break out the beast. This is not a product that the average homeowner is going to buy, unless they've got like 2 or 3 acres. But let me tell you what, this thing right here, I'll put a link to it up under the video on this page, but it's the LCO 1000. Just an absolute beast of a spreader. So this is a professional grade. This is what they use on golf courses. This is what turf professionals use. It's just an amazing spreader. But you can sort of see the difference between the two. I mean, this is a stainless steel rack design, easy access. Now they do keep the gear system plastic for easy access. You can see I failed to wash it off like a good boy after my pre-emergent treatment, but the monster air tires. I mean, look at the difference in size here. All solid steel tubular construction, a massive throwing wheel down here. You have a slide regulator versus a dial, and then you have the on-off arm right here. But this thing is just a beast. I mean, when you walk behind the two of them, this one kind of struggles to move when you put a lot of fertilizer in this one, it's kind of hard to push. You don't want to overload it. This one, I got a full bag inside of it, and it's just, I mean, it just goes. So again, not something that the average homeowner is going to buy, but a couple people have asked about it. If you go to the website, if you go to the link below in the description, I'll put a link up to this on the page. It's about a $500 spreader. But man, I said to myself, if I'm going to go do those other lawns, I need the beast. So out comes the beast. I will warn you, if you use this beast, which I love this thing, you have to really sort of get used to it because it's such a big throw pattern. It's about a 10-foot wide swath, and there's no clogging. It's just rolling over everything. So on my front yard, as an example, which by the way has been scalped, normally what I would do is, normally it would take me 6, 7 back and forth. With this thing, I did 3. I did 1, 2, 3 passes with that spreader. So now you see why, as an example, I switch over, because I still got to do Barb's lawn, World's Worst Bermuda lawn, and Sarah's lawn. I got to do all those. So sorry, Scots, but you make a great product and it's cheap. But if you're a turf professional, if you're thinking about getting into it, that LCO is a great unit. I know why they use it on golf courses now. It's amazing. So I think you can see why I switched over on the spreaders. 1 lawn is fine, but 4 lawns is not. Anyways, guys, this is the basic winterizing steps for Bermuda grasses. Put out a light coat of 10-10-10. I mean, I've got about 20,000 square feet, and I put out about 80 pounds. Same thing, that's the rate I used on about all the other lawns. And then I'll come back out tomorrow. I have some new super juice coming in. I'll spray super juice on all 4 of these lawns. Getting close to being finished with the lawns. Wow, look at that. That is amazing. That is amazing. Oh, that is incredible. Look at that. Look at that. All the way across the sky. All the way across. I know my camera's getting wet. I don't care. Now that, my friends, that's a cool way to end the day. That is a cool way to end the day. You gotta love it.